Let's go. In here. Time, tell her,
You have baking soda? Shea, baking soda there?
Yeah.
Need some baking soda to clean out in here. Water. Just some water. Oh, rag.
Baking powder, the underneath the.
No, I said baking powder, I said baking soda.
Why difference? Yes, the soda did it. Soda did it.
Alright, Shea, more baking soda and water.
Shay don't know what to find out in the kitchen. Shay just don't want to leave the camera.
Yeah,
Listen, Shay don't want to come out to the
No,
camera.
I'm telling you the difference. So this one is the same quality, just that one's darker than that one.
So that means we're not forgetting the iPhone then.
You can if you want to, or get like a Samsung S10. You know, you can give it to me.
Tasha have a S10 when she come back, me use fair
yeah,
one.
but you know, since we need two, you can buy one for me.
Can I introduce myself on the video? Or you want to do it for me?
No, I'm too shy.
Yeah, but you want to come talking at the camera where you don't want to do the introduction. Good afternoon, people. This is Shay, as you all know. The famous Shay gives the most talking. Welcome to another video, another vlog on the channel Journey with Kevin. As also the channel Kenny and Shella. We are doing a collab today. Our first collab, which is long overdue, Shella.
Well, the only reason it's happening today is because you need my help, okay? He needs my help, because look at this. Like, what's going on? Like,
I'm going.
Yeah, so
I'm
going to do a quick dry wash. You know how when people are sick and they're in the hospital and you can't wash their hair, so you do like a little dry wash.
See, towel. I have some towel. So the lesbian before,
so, like
she now have a choice if she wants to pass.
What does Tasha identify as?
Tasha identifies as Kevin's sexual. Somebody asked Tasha, are you a lesbian? Are you? Somebody asked Tasha if she's a lesbian or if she's straight. Tasha say, I'm whatever Kevin is. I'm Kevin sexual. I laughed till I weak. But like, because I would be the dominant one. So my identity would have basically swing hers. And because I go across as a man, I only use trans man for now. Maybe 2 years from now, I'm not using that label, because when all the features that I want are up and running, I no longer have to explain to people who I was. And that is why I'm doing my channel right now, so people who wants to learn can follow the journey onward. Once my channel is still up and running, maybe 5 years from now, I might not be stressing the word trans anymore, because by then I'll be a full-blown man.
Oh, okay, I get you.
If you look on IG, a lot of persons who went through transition, they moved the trans from off their name.
So while you're going through transition, you don't say you're a man, you say you're a trans man.
I do that for education purposes, because
other people just go straight to being a man?
Yeah, a lot of other people, like for persons who never gave birth, they don't have a lot of breasts. They look very masculine. They don't have to say that they're a trans because your status changes. A lot of them do their ID changes and everything, and it's showing male. So you telling somebody that you're a trans man for no reason, it just builds a conversation sometimes you don't want to have. Because when I go out and people see me and they say, good morning, sir, I'm okay with that. Am I going to say, you don't have to say, sir, I'm a trans man? You know what I mean? So a lot of people just avoid the conversation and just go straight to the male. But because I am an educator and I do a lot of advocating and all of that, so I don't mind for now until I get to where I want to be. I might not be pressured or feel like I still have to do this anymore. Like still be telling people this and that. I can always just refer people, say go and watch the channel if you want to learn more. There was somebody at George Brown doing a presentation the other day on how they can help the trans community. And she didn't even know what a trans was or who a trans was. And I just sent her a few of my videos and I said, these videos can answer your question. She told me she got A+. Because when she see the video that I sent her first was the one that say, how can society be more trans inclusive?
That's one of your bigger videos.
Yeah, so when she watched this video, it shows some of the things that organizations can do, some of the things that family and friends can do to support you, to understand you. So the studs who are still living the life of a stud, if you feel like you're a trans, watch that video and maybe you can come out to your partners. If they really love you for who you are, they will stay with you. Because
it would be hard for me.
Let me tell you why. You know why it's so hard for you.
It's gonna be hard.
I'm not putting you on blast.
Like boobs, okay?
No, but the thing is, What people understand, you like boobs, right?
I like boobs.
Which part of the boobs you like? The little small part of the front?
Every part I like the feel like, me like the wear type, me like the squishiness of it. I like everything about it. I like to see the. I like everything. So it can't work.
All right.
Go hard.
Like them said to
Kenny
each his one.
Kenny better not try that with me.
Kenny, don't watch this video here. Don't watch
this video.
All right. So the thing is now with Tasha, she knew me from when I was a stud or when I was on the side.
Birthday.
Shay, come get to the birthday. Shay tempted to put them out of the way now. So, because they hear strange voice, they're gonna be communicating because they're parakeets. So that's all.
What in can chat?
They're up. So if you tell you. So with Tasha now, because she was with me before I came out as a trans, right? And our bedroom, I don't receive. So nothing really changes where that is concerned. She was already used to the fact that I'm very masculine in the bedroom. In the relationship, I'm very masculine.
Studs who don't like, the touching and.
So,
because I want to touch too, like.
So that is why you get the right one.
I want to touch.
Hi, Kenny.
You don't have to receive, but I want to touch.
Yeah, but
you have some studs who is like,
you can't touch me not. They touch me not.
You can't touch nothing.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
There's studs out there who touch me not, and that's why I said to some of them, research on who is a trans, because a transgender is somebody who feels like they were given the wrong gender at birth. And for most of them, they go in pursuit of making the changes. A transgender doesn't have to do body changes. It can be more of a mental thing where you feel like a man, you present as a man, you act like a man and do everything like a man, but you're not interested in removing the body features. So yes, you can still have your top and your bottom and still dress masculine, but you go with the pronouns and everything. You're still a transgender. So don't feel like because you're a trans, you have to do the surgeries. You don't have to. Because back in the days, the persons who do the surgeries would have been referred to as transsexual. But they're not really using the transsexual anymore. It's just transgender, and most people just go straight to male or female.
Alright, so let me ask you, because I got questions, okay? I got a lot of questions. Dating. So as a trans man dating, like, I'm always like, okay, so at what point are you going to reveal to this person that you are a trans man? I know you're past that dating stage and, that doesn't affect you. You probably never done it because you've been with Tasha, but...
Well, I've dated people when Tasha and I separated. I dated. And for me, as soon as I'm ready to take you out, like we talk on the phone, we text on the phone, because I come across very masculine. So a lot of times I meet people like at the clubs, at work, on the bus, on the train, and I would be like, they look at me and they see me very masculine, so they don't assume that I'm still a female. They would see me as a male. But if it's gonna go further than just a day, like during the conversation, and I would say like, what are some of the things that you like or in a guy? What are you looking for in a relationship? If you're looking for a relationship, I normally lay my cards out before I even take you out. So if you're not interested, you're not get my money, because I'm not going to take you on a date and spend all that money and you're not interested. Like, I never tell you I'm looking for a friend. So I make sure to tell people earlier that I'm looking for a relationship. I want to settle down. I want to have kids. I want to get married and just be committed and faithful to one person who is a female or presenting themselves as a female. I was never attracted to, say, have a relationship with a trans woman. I've never been with a trans woman. Never been with a gay guy. It was just always women that I'm attracted to, like born women.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Some studs like to date trans women, but they're lesbians. Well, trans women are women, but yeah.
As long as they're not receiving, they're still under the lesbian category, because trans women are not women.
But
so they can still be under the lesbian category.
Some trans women still like to give, though.
Then the bedroom is up to them, because again, the sexuality is different from the identity. So if the trans woman come across as a woman, it doesn't matter what they do in their bedroom, because we don't know. So once she come across as a woman, then they are lesbians. To my understanding, that's just my thing. If somebody believe otherwise, comment below.
Okay, I got you.
It took me a while, because I've been reading these things for almost like 6 to 8 months. Because I'm like, I don't want to come out before my course. Because when I came out, after me and my ex broke up, I'm like, I've always been saying he. And when people refer to me as he, she's always correcting them. And I'm like, I don't think this is a relationship for me. But after we broke up, I did a lot of soul searching. I went to therapy. I went to speak to different people. I spoke to my Jamaican doctor. And I told her, and she's like, in Jamaica, you can't be doing this and that and that. So now that you're in Canada, explore yourself. And one of the things she said to me, when I went to her and my name was Carlene on the ID, she looked at me and she said, is there other name that you prefer? And I just love this doctor for the fact that she was born in Jamaica and she was able to look at me, see that I'm very masculine presented, and ask if there's a name that I prefer. And I said, Kevin. And she's like, then why don't you change your name? And I'm like, I'm still a little confused because I know I'm very masculine and Kevin is the name I want to change my name to. But people are saying if I change my name, then I'm a transgender. And I'm not sure if I am. And she's like, well, maybe I'm going to have to pause the next client because we need to talk. And we talked for about 30 minutes and I explained to her how I feel about myself. And she said to me, embrace your truth. If you feel like a trans man, Google it, research it, read articles, follow some people on YouTube and see how they came out, what it is for them, how they feel. And maybe you will get a better insight as to who you are. But the first step is to accept you for who you are. Your definition based on what you said, you feel like a man trapped inside of a woman's body. So then there's no thing lesbian about you. And from then I just started saying, I'm a trans man. I'm walking around in the house and saying, I'm a trans man. Until it just became okay. I can say it out loud to people.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to come out.
Okay. Oh well. Remember the first time I heard you tell me that you're transition. Where did I
Transition.
I thought I saw it on Facebook. Yeah, you didn't tell me.
I put it on Facebook because I didn't know how to come out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I put it on Facebook and see how much people are gonna accept me or whatever. But I did it.
I was just like a little bit surprised because we never know.
Somebody comment and say I saw it coming.
Yeah. Well, I guess I didn't see it coming, but people who know you really well would see it coming. Yeah.
I've always
you always act that way still, but then again, that's just how studs, butches, whatever, always be acting. So
Caribbean studs.
yeah, exactly. Now the party they ram up and a jam up and used to go party with Kevin.
I used to be like a Marvin the Beast. Whereas me just come from Jamaica, peer daggering.
Peer daggering in the party them.
All them white girls they and dagger them. All the boys too, because the femboys used to be all over me. They would come and they jump up on me and I lift them up and go on with a bag of things. There was a time they thought I liked men. Like.
So wait, did something go missing from here or?
No, must maybe something gone. I don't know. No shade it through me here from the time there and from that it never come back. Good body shade.
You butchered it too, don't blame me, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, people, remember, blow up the comment section.
Yeah, because I had questions. You know what the title of this video is? Shella has questions, okay? Shella have real questions.
Shella interviewed me.
Don't be afraid to like ask questions because I'm sure he don't mind answering them.
Yeah, I'll answer them. Any questions you all want to ask?
Even if it sounds a bit personal.
I will answer most of them because
we're all curious. Like, I was curious about certain things. I'm still curious about certain things that are way too personal, but still, it's okay. We're not going there.
Whatever is personal, you'd have to stay off the camera. Because if it was just for me, I don't care. But for Tasha, she's very private.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I won't.
Tasha is very private.
But are you planning to have bottom surgery in the future?
I'm contemplating it, to be honest, because it's a decision I have to make between me and my wife.
Okay.
But right now we're okay the way things are, the bedroom and everything. So I already have my stand to pee if I have to use public areas. Where
How
I don't
does that
wanna,
work? You should do a demonstration. Shit.
Is she laughing at us like? I didn't even remember that she was right here, but she's 14 anyway, and we talk about stuff
No, but
I have to
that's
educate
normal
her.
stuff. It's not like we're talking about
the stand to pee. Like, show you my thingy.
you used it?
Yeah, I use it several times, a lot. I've been potty training, but because of the surgery right now, I'm not. You have to potty train with it.
Oh Lord!
But
You
because
call
of
it
the
potty
certain,
training?
then what if you call it stand to pee training?
Yes.
No, I call it potty training because the whole idea, the reason why I call it potty training is because you have to monitor your flow. Because if you don't practice how to monitor your flow, you might flow too fast, too heavy, and then it fills up and it overflows. You don't want that.
So it's, okay, sorry, I don't know what it is, but when you say full up, isn't it something where you put it there and it leads out?
Exactly.
So how is it gonna full up?
It will fill up because it's like a cup. A part of it is like a cup with a point going down. A part of it is, she's never seen it. That's why she
All right,
chats
you
so
know
much.
I've seen it.
You should include a picture of it in the video.
Lordy, oh, everybody. Because I
Oh,
have,
wait, if me never come here, none of this will get leaked.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I have 20, but I'll just show the easier one. So
Yeah,
it's like a cup looking
let's see
area, and you have the part that goes on like. Oh, I'm monetized now, so I can put it up, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
it's like so you
educational.
put it underneath. Because I think I have a video with me using it, but I don't show my private area. I just show how it is seated because I have the boxes that go with it, like a brief. So you put it inside the brief and sit on it like you don't have to sit, you stand on it or whatever. You position yourself and it's scooped underneath the area where the urine comes from, and then the spout goes through. So the spout goes down like a actual looking penis, and the thing just flow through it. So if your flow is very heavy, then the cup can overflow, like it can run back out and drip. You don't want that. And when you're
But
done,
men
you just
tinkle anyway.
yeah, men
They
tinkle. But
sprinkle.
yeah, but this sprinkle is not gonna be from the tip of it. It's gonna be
it's
from the
at the
cup
back?
itself. So
Okay.
it might come back on you.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I use it, but I don't use it in the public urinals because it's obvious gonna be different because it's lighter than my complexion. So I use it inside the toilet area because when
Does
you
it look like an actual thingy?
it looks, but it's white.
So
It
you
looks-
couldn't get like one from.
They
your
never had
complexion?
the dark complexion when I was making my order, so I just had to go with the white one.
Okay. All right, this is new to me.
Yeah, the dark one, like I ordered one and I had to send it back because it didn't fit properly. I had to return it. It was
Is
expensive
this like
too.
is it
It's called
described as a medical device? Or
no, it's time to pee, so it's not a medical. It's like a dildo, but it's softer.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Like, yeah, so you just have to monitor how you flow, because you know, women, it comes hard like, psh, so you have to slowly. Psh.
Yeah.
You can't make it just splash like that because it gonna mess up. And depends on where you are, because like when I go to parties and stuff, I only use male washroom. And if you go to a male washroom and you
There's no
when
privacy.
you-
How do you do it? You know what? That's a good question.
Because-
how the hell do you do it?
all right, so when I go to male washroom, I don't use the urinal. I go to the toilet area.
Oh,
Because it's something that you can fold it and put it in your back pocket. It comes with a little plastic case, so you can fold it and put it in your back pocket. When you're done using it, for me, when I'm done using it, I just use a tissue and sanitize it and put it back, because I'm not going to use it again. How often do I pee when I go out? Once or twice?
sorry. No, you hold on. You're gonna have to cut that out. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, so when I go to use the male washroom, like I use the toilet area. Sorry about that, we had to pause. Use the toilet area. The thing about it, why I do this, because being a man and going into a male washroom and have to squat, another man outside can know that you're not really a male, because the based on how the female thing goes,
Yeah, well, yeah.
it comes with a noise and based on how you sit. So if your foot is positioned a certain way, they assume that, you know, so that look like one girl, because how many men sit to pee? Very few. So you going in there and sit to pee, they're gonna analyze something and they can know you're just urinating based on the sounds that they hear. But when you go and you stand with the stand to pee, the fact that you're above the toilet, it makes a different sound than when you're sitting on it or you're close to it. And based on how your feet will be positioned, if they look underneath the bottom of the door, they can see that you're actually standing in front of a toilet. These are things that it can be us being paranoid, but if you're coming across as a man, be as masculine as you can be to not have people looking at you in a negative way, because that's what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I don't mind going into the male washroom and bend over and pee. But I remember I went to a club sometime last year before I got the stand to pee. And before I stopped my menses, because I just started the testosterone, so I was still on my menses. And I had to go and change. I'm like, shucks, I can't go in the male washroom because there's no disposable. I was so embarrassed going to the female washroom. And as soon as I'm coming, like, I asked my girlfriend who was with me, I'm like, cover me, like, just stand here, come with me, like, I don't want anybody to see me go into the female washroom. Blows on skirt. She covered me to the doorway and I went in the washroom. I'm like, okay, everything is good. Blow and behold, as me I exit the washroom, I want a man that me see. Him curse about it and say, so yeah, girl, all this time out, that's what going like, yeah, man. I was so embarrassed.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Or another Jamaican
in
person?
Canada here, it was a Jamaican bar, and I'm like, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, babes, I'm ready. And she's like, why? I'm like, the guy you just killed my vibe. And you see, by the time he came from the washroom, he went and he told all the guys that were with him. And everybody started looking at me. Next thing you know, they start hitting on my girl.
Oh, wow.
They came over and I'm like, what can I get you to drink? And she's like, don't you see I'm not thirsty? I'm like, oh, so you're there with a he, she, and you want to come style, man? I'm like, baby, let's go. Because these people are asking for trouble. Because they're already intoxicated. So, you know, drunk people in the room tell them to do things. So them just want to come pick a trouble. So I'm like, you know what, let me go. Because at the end of the day, I work at a club. And they will always see me again. So I don't want to start trouble with them. And then they come to my club and bring problem. So I'm like, yeah. So. Interesting convo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a question, but it left me.
It soon come back.
So then put your ear up in the style, or just leave it for a while. Make your hair recover from
As
this.
long as it's not tight, because I can't manage nothing
It's not
tight.
going tight, don't worry about that. It's not going to be tight. It's not going tight, don't worry.
There you have it. A lot of info from
Yeah?
Shella's interview.
I got questions. Like I said, I got questions. I'm sure you
Shella's
guys
got
have
questions for
too.
Kevin. I know a lot of people would have these questions, but they don't like.
They're not gonna ask.
Yeah, my fear about the bottom surgery.
No, I'm
You're
not done
not
with
sure
the
what
bathroom
size
part.
you might get, and that's what I'm like. I don't want to give away sure for unsure, because whatever you get, you have to keep it. It's non-reversible. And if you don't get a big enough one and it's not working, what do you do? Me tie up here.
Jesus Christ.
It was breaking and I couldn't figure out what to do, so I just tied it. Like, you're gonna have to needle it. I don't think you should pull the tie.
No, I'm not.
Just
But this bump right here, so I can't just needle it.
make the bump stay.
Hold on.
Me tie it because I was.
I don't know what is going on with your hair. Like,
Yeah,
seriously, I don't know.
me tie up his backside. I'm drinking fruit juice.
Courtesy of
Natural
Moa.
fruit juice, courtesy of my friend. I got it for free.
Yeah, it's my favorite drink. I always go to the bubble tea whenever I get out the house.
Kevin, I get used to the free treatment.
No, that's free, but this is not free, girl. So, why do I keep doing that?
You're
Sorry.
gonna get a beaten.
Just slap me in the middle.
No, a while ago
You
when
know
you
what?
say it,
No,
you
wait,
catch up by yourself
wait.
so fast. You're sorry. Well, that I can understand, and
it's
I'm
not you. It's not even you. I
my-
do it to men.
I'm gonna give you a joke now. I'm glad this happened
Yes.
because me now can talk about it.
Yes.
People who call me she mistakenly and they correct themselves, I can
Right
see
on,
with
yes.
you. But there are persons who do it and I correct them and they continue to do it. That kills me. It
Well, you
kills
don't
my
look like a
ego,
girl.
and that is a total disrespect. Even people who've never seen me when I was a female still want to address me as a female. Like, what's the whole point of coming out as a trans? I could just stay the way I was if I was okay with that.
For people who's known you for a longer time, it would be like a harder transition for them because they have to constantly remember not to use those pronouns, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for people who don't know you and they know you as a man, they get to know you in this state.
You saw
Then it shouldn't be hard.
You see the gay guys them now when them a talk to them, one of them say she, them all say yes girl, yes girlfriend.
And that's how I talk to all men.
You know,
So,
you look like you have too much
all
gay
these are all
friends.
gay people, yeah.
Exactly, you have too much gay man friends.
So they call everybody girl.
when them a speak to you, them say yes child, yes,
yes,
girl.
girl.
So you
Yeah.
know, just catch it at them bad habits.
Yeah, me they run too much.
Because when I was working with the gay guys too, that's how them always depend on, Jesus, Kevin, you have to start. One of them said to me, Kevin, start charge me $5. Every
Yeah,
time I say it, charge me $5, and then we start lose money because I'm too much with the gay guys and the little girl. Them, I was a girl, yes, girl. So then
it's just habitual. It's habitual.
there was a time when he looked for me and he said, "Jesus Christ, they're gonna lose my work." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because this is something I can lose my job for.
Yeah.
If I keep mispronouncing you and you make a report, I'm out of a job because then they're gonna think that I'm discriminating."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a serious offense here in Canada, I know.
It's very disrespectful.
It's a serious offense to keep mispronouncing somebody and misgendering a person. It's very serious. Like, you don't want somebody to look at you every day and
But
call
you
you
know
a
that
thief if you know that you're not a thief.
You know that women get misgendered all the time too. I have a friend on my YouTube channel, and she has a voice that sounds, more masculine tone, undertone. And every time she says, sometimes when she would call for customer care on the phone,
yes, sir,
they would sometimes be like, yes, sir, because they hear the voice. But in Canada, normally, in your training, if you're going to do customer service, in your training,
you're
they
supposed
tell
to
you,
ask.
you know, if you're going to identify someone, at least ask how they want to be identified.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to assume that a person is a male or female. And she gets identified as a male on the phone sometimes.
On the phone because of the tone.
Yeah.
I went to TD the other day and I was changing some paperwork for Shay. I was opening a bank account for Shay, and the lady looked on my file and she's like, "I have a question." I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, and she looked and I'm like, "You can say it," because she looked at me and said I'm very masculine, so I know it's something pertaining to my gender or my identity. And she looked at me and then Shay said something like, Shay was like, "Cool, dad." So Shay was giving me money to open her bank account, and I say, "I'm gonna double whatever you put." So when I put the extra money, Shay was like, "You're a cool dad." So the lady say, "Oh, now I can ask it." And she was like, your profile is still showing female. And I'm like, oh, change that for me, please. She's like, "Yeah, I know, because I see your name change and everything." So I'm like, why is it? Yeah. So it's okay to ask.
How long does this whole transition thing take before, like your friend the other day that you had on here, he's transitioned some time ago. He's no longer going through transition. But
yeah, for the most part, he's comfortable where he's at, but he still wants to do the bottom surgery. So that's all that's left. So for him, he can just go straight as a man. He doesn't have to say if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, because he actually looks really convincing.
So the fact that his upper body and his outer look is at a satisfactory masculine level, if he wants to just say male, he's just gonna do that. But Aji is kind of non-binary trans.
Also, he doesn't really identify as
he doesn't really stick to the transman. He's just like a transgender. For him, he would say, "I'm just Haji."
Oh, okay.
So I'm very masculine presented, but I'm just Haji.
Okay. Got you. And yes, I had questions. I had real questions. I had some personal deep questions, okay? Questions that weren't covered, some of which weren't covered in his usual videos.